just one self, but multiple selves adapting to different situations. So prior to going into these deeply complex issues, let's look at what the common sense perspective of leadership is and where you might be coming from. So at a commonsensical level, there seems to be 5 essential elements of leadership. The first of those is influencing. It's the idea that a leader influences and motivates followers to do their bidding or to go on some kind of transformational journey. The second relates to followers. In order to be a leader, you have to have some kind of follower. So there's this deep relationship between leader and a follower, and that's something that is absolutely required in order to be a good leader, to generate these good relationships with your followers and then yet again take them where you're going. Now, for some people, leadership just means you have a formal leadership position. But for others, we're having an idea of thought leadership and influences in the wider social world. These are people who are actually leading movements who don't really have any formal authority. They have a whole bunch of followers who are choosing to follow them. And this is an important concept. You have leadership because you have the position of leadership or the position of authority, but you also have leadership where followers are choosing to follow you. And then we might have 3 very organisational elements of leadership. There's the idea of organisational objectives. How do you get people to do good work and deliver the objectives of the organisation? We then have the idea of change. How do you get people working in an organisation to adapt and change to the external environment? And finally, the idea of leading people themselves. And it goes back to relationships. How do you develop deep and enduring relationships with the people you are leading? So they are the 5 essential elements of leadership, the thing that all leaders actually are having to do on an ongoing basis. What are the 3 essential skills? You can think of them as sort of a hierarchy of skills, so that all leaders need to have technical skills, but then they will move up and have interpersonal skills, and finally, high-end leaders will have complex decision-making skills. So at the lowest end of the hierarchy is just the technical skills. It's the ability to understand the tools and methods to actually do a job and to lead other people in doing a job. As you lead more people, you need to have the interpersonal skills, the ability to communicate, to coach, to help, to build good relationships and enduring relationships with the people that you are leading. And finally, at the top of the hierarchy, you need to have these conceptual skills. You need to be able to conceptualize a situation, look at various strategies and alternatives, and decide in directions that the organisation needs to travel. So as you move beyond the commonsensical perspective of leadership, you're going to have to navigate your way through a whole bunch of theories, some of which might seem contradictory. To do that, you have to understand the difference between leadership theory classifications, and leadership paradigms. Leadership theory is an explanation of a specific aspect of leadership. It can help us understand, predict, and control successful leadership going forwards into the future. Then you have leadership theory classifications, and this might include leadership traits, leadership behaviours, leadership contingencies. And these will have models of leadership that help you understand how a leader is acting in total. Rather than just one element of leadership, it's a model of why and how a leader is behaving the way they are. Then you have leadership paradigms. This is a shared mindset that is a fundamental way of understanding, thinking, perceiving, and talking about leadership. As you go through the entire course, you will come across some theories, some different classifications, some different paradigms. Some of them, as I said, will seem contradictory. But because we're looking at the idea of you adapting your leadership style and being able to do that comfortably without any psychological distress, it's important that you understand the wide range of ideas and you can pick and choose between them as you go.